Another good week. Another good week. Glad to be back. Appreciate all the love for you guys been showing us. Here for another episode of 1600. Appreciate all the love. Again, like, rate, subscribe, all that for us. There's a whole lot to talk about. It's another great week of football. Plenty of things to discuss with our hymn zone. We have our first rankings coming out for season Super Bowl favorites and things of that nature. So plenty of good stuff on the way. Again, appreciate all the love you guys been showing us, and let's jump into it right now. All right, man. It's your boy G, along with Alec. Another great episode of 1600. Appreciate all the love. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're back for week 4 of the NFL. A whole lot of good stuff happened this last weekend, and excited to jump into it. As we go into that, week 3 was a very fun one. Rams got a dub. The Ravens got a dub. Chargers lost, but hey, they all went injuries, so it is what it is right now. We'll get more into that later on. But with our picks, Alec, you went 6-10. I went 8-8. I'm up on you this week, so glad to be the big victor in that. But going into the games, just giving any takeaways from what you saw this last weekend.
Specifically from those 3 teams, or
those 3, or if there's any other big ones you wanted to jump into first, go ahead and talk about whatever.
I mean, one of the biggest takeaways is from one of those teams in those 3 games is the Jaguars seem to be that they potentially are legit as far as their defense. Trevor Lawrence looking like the number 1 pick that we all thought he was, talent-wise. Doug Peterson as the new head coach seems to be a steady presence for them as well. So it seems like the Jaguars may be the surprise team this year.
I was never off the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon.
Yeah.
A lot of folks said, because he had a whole lot of hype in high school.
Yeah.
There were folks that said, "Oh, he's not actually who we thought he was." He was the most heralded prospect since Andrew Luck, and had great showings in college. And got to the NFL last year, things did not go his way with all that was going on. And folks started to write the ship on him and say that, "Oh, once he got to the league, it's a whole different game, and he no longer is that guy." But I and many others, as you said, believe that it was just a bad season, and he's showing that he still is that guy. So you may hear that a few times in this episode with the things we discussed, that he's a guy that we now have high hopes for. Immediately, I did think as a team that they still were a year away. So we have our predictions for the season, our division winners and things of that nature. I didn't have them too high on the board for their division yet. But seeing that they are already a team with a whole lot of talent there, and as I mentioned to you, actually in our predictions, I thought highly of Trayvon Walker. I thought he'd have a good first season. So seeing that things are wrapping around the talent that they have there, the court that they have there, I'm glad to see it and happy for their future. So, yeah, great to see with them. What do you think about the Jaguars? As you were saying, just any more with that?
Oh, any more with that? No. I think they, especially in that division, look like they may end up being the cream of the crop in the AFC South. The Titans' offense has looked anemic at times. Derrick Henry showed signs of life, which was good to see. That he's
Thank God.
beating. Yeah, I was gonna say that he's beating the washed allegations so far. But I mean, amidst that division, the Texans are weak, and the Colts got a surprising win, but don't seem to be as strong as some believe they would be with Matt Ryan coming in. So the Jaguars look like they may be able to grab a playoff spot. Maybe not the Bengals type Super Bowl run, but I think they may be the surprise team this year.
Yeah, definitely. I will say though, Matt Ryan shook those retirement allegations that
he did.
You give him some credit for that.
Game-winning drive.
They still have some work to do though, as the Jaguars are still leading the pack over there. So yeah, definitely good things there. Good things across the league. Something that stood out to me was on Monday night there was the game between the Cowboys and the Giants, and a few things came from that. One I took away was that I actually like a whole lot what they do in regards to the lineage of 88. They went into their discussion. They had a segment talking about how the numbers been passed down for generations, from I believe it was Drew Pearson to Urban and to a couple other random guys to Dez and now CD. And how some guys were trying to get past to it and things of that nature, whatever. And some embraced it and others didn't. But yeah, I like how they did that. And I just wanted your thoughts on should more teams take the lineage approach with their numbers? Should we see more teams that have guys that were heralded on that squad pass down the numbers rather than retire them?
Yeah, I think I like both. I like the passing down, and I feel like I like the retiring the number more for like guys that were in that like rare air, like Hall of Fame level guys.
Sure.
And then even with that, like sometimes numbers are retired, but like guys will give the blessing for a certain player to like rock their number. So like I like that scenario. I feel like there could be situations where like CD is not quite that guy that like we thought he was, and then you get people who know 88 for CD versus Michael Irvin or whatever, and that gets a little tricky like legacy wise because some guys I feel like deserve to be like known for their number, but I see the argument for both. I like both traditions. I think LSU or something like does it like with number 7, like they give 7 to the best player. Obviously it's different in college, but they give like 7 to the best player on the field, that kind of thing. So it could be cool both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the lineage approach, and I think it's actually just a more so because of where we are now, in that we've seen a lot of numbers start to get retired, and it's like, okay, eventually we're gonna start not running out of numbers, but we're gonna have guys walking around with funky numbers on because all the good ones have been taken and used by elite talent that have been now put up in the rafters. So there are a few occasions, like you said. I think Larry Nance Sr. blessed Larry Nance Jr. when he was in Cleveland, let him wear the number. That was a family thing. But outside of that, once the numbers are up in the rafters, they're there to stay, and we won't see guys wear it again. So I do like the approach of people pegging on the number to different players. To your point about CD, there were guys before CD who wore 88 as well. They didn't quite pan out, but we eventually did get Dez wearing the number, and we eventually did get CD now the number again. So it gives guys chances to right the wrongs potentially of the past and carry on the tradition of those that were good when they were before. So I can fully stand on that side and say I would rather see guys pass the number down than retire them. So yeah, that was a very interesting thing that I saw. Go ahead.
I would never want to see a number 23 on the Bulls or something like that. You know what I mean? Like certain guys, certain like Hall of Fame rare air type guys, I think like deserve to have it retired for good, and they can get the blessing if they want. But yeah.
For rare air guys, if you are Michael Jordan, if you are Kareem, yeah, I definitely get that. But for the rest of them, or like Bill Russell, like his number being retired across the league, I'm totally fine with. But the rest of the guys, I don't want to nitpick and say this guy shouldn't have got his number retired for any examples, but just saying that there are other numbers that I feel like it would have been nice to see them get passed down and add to the legacy that way rather than just being in the Raptors, though that is a great image as well. So even with 23, was it immediately retired after Jordan left? Because I could have swore there was like maybe one guy that may have wore 23 in Chicago right after Jordan.
I don't know about
for his moment. And so and with that, it's like even if that guy does wear the number and does whatever he does, we still all remember just Jordan for the number. So whatever guys wear it afterwards, like it wasn't retired across the league. LeBron wore 23 forever. Guys and other teams that have worn 23. So we see that number could be
other teams
by other players.
There.
Yeah, I know that's the key. But I'm saying other guys can come along with the number and carry on the tradition, even if it's not to the same height as the first guy that set that in motion. So I think passing the number down. I like that as a thing that I'd like to see people do more so going forward. So you mentioned it with LSU and 7. I know it kind of was tainted, but like USC wearing number 5. I know it was Reggie Bush started that, but seeing guys right afterwards. It's not really a thing, but I'm saying just thinking of things that could possibly do that off the top of the head. Passing 5 down to the best player across the team or things of that nature. So yeah, I think that'd be a cool thing, and we'll see more teams follow suit. But yeah, that was definitely a fun one. Then more so to football, as we're going to get more into the debate of it. Another thing that I saw with the Cowboys game, the Cowboys won that game, surprising to many folks. And it sparked a lot of debate, I guess, amongst Cowboys fans, it seemed. Not necessarily turning on Dak. It was more so a debate about the value of a win. They were saying that, oh, well, we can get wins with the back. It was the same thing. Sorry to jump around. It was the same thing that we saw with my Ravens last year. Tyler Huntley comes in and plays good. And it's like, oh, well, Tyler, we have a backup that comes in and can win games too. We can trade our starter for other pieces, and we'll still be in the same position because we're winning games. So it's like my first question I'll ask right now is, our wins a QB stat?
I think wins have never been a QB stat. Like, as I think we've seen, like, demonstrated, like, in football, like even that Super Bowl with the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers, like, offensive line was done, so the QB was running for his life, and Patrick Mahomes, like, it's never just on the QB. Like, QB is probably the most impactful on the field, but wins are, like, undoubtedly a team stat in the NFL. I think other sports, you can kind of, like, backpack a team. Like basketball, a guy can take over and completely affect the outcome of the game, but quarterback, like, you can play as good as you want, your guys still have to catch the ball too and score with it. So no, it's definitely a team stat, and they've been getting team wins. It hasn't been Cooper Rush, like, spearheading the wins. So
absolutely, yeah, I agree with you there. This was very interesting to see how a backup comes in and wins 2 games, and it's all of a sudden, okay, we can let our starter rest now. We can let our QB sit, and we'll be just fine because this guy is doing the same thing. And it's like, no, it's not that simple. There's a whole lot more that goes on around them. And the Cowboys have a good squad surrounding Cooper Rush, which is why they've been able to stay afloat as they have so far. So that'll be definitely interesting. And I'll just add to the question as well and say, while we will agree that it is not a QB stat, how much weight should a win actually have for a quarterback, or in general?
What? Okay, so wait. So what's the question? You said, or in general?
How much weight should a win actually have for a quarterback, or just for players in general?
That's kind of tough. I mean, because it's like we just said, like, it's a team stat, so, like, it's kind of a game by game scenario. Like, some games you can say that one player, like, was more impactful towards the win than the other. Like the Giants Week 1 win, I'd probably give Saquon the credit for leading them to that one. So you can give, like, credit for guys leading their teams, helping to lead their teams to win, but it's hard to just, like, it's kind of like the same thing with, like, the rings argument too, because, like, ring championships are a team thing as well. So
just adding real quick, I was gonna say I kind of do that myself. For example, Joe Burrow has been called his whole career a winner because he's found ways to win most places he's been at. Should that actually be something we describe him as, or is he just a guy that's been in the right situation as every place he's been at?
I think that's a little bit different because he's done it in multiple situations. Like, I think if you've done it just in one place, like with an all-star team or whatever, like, then I think you can maybe analyze it a little bit more and say he was kind of just, like, set up in a great situation. But like, LSU had good teams but weren't as elite as they were until Burrow got there, like, as that quarterback. Like, they had not won a title since Saban, I guess, was the head coach. Maybe Les Miles got one in, like,
it's been a while though. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So, like, he was clearly the piece that, like, put them into that upper echelon of college football. And so, like, you have to give him credit for that. And he had, like, one of the best statistical seasons. Like, how much of that you give to the receivers and the offensive scheme and all that, I guess you can debate. But when you've done it in 2 separate, like, you've done it at the college level and now at the pro level too, when guys typically have to adjust to the pro level and the speed of the game and all that, and he pretty much translated pretty seamlessly to going to the Super Bowl in his second year. So I think you have to give him credit for his winning pedigree to this point. And I guess until he shows you otherwise, because I don't think the Bengals were a powerhouse by any stretch either. Like, going into the season, I think he was so good. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. That in certain instances it does have to be acknowledged, but that shouldn't be the end discussion. We have to look at the full context of what all is going on.
Yeah.
Kind of like going back to the NFL thing we're discussing right now. We saw I think that was week 1 with the Broncos, how Russell Wilson's a good quarterback. I know I've had my grudge with him or whatever. He's in a situation where
I'll get to him later.
Mismanaging the situation, and ultimately they lose that game to Seattle. And now it's like, oh, here we go with Russ again. And it's like there's a lot more that goes on with that squad than just Russ's performance. So wins are not a QB stat. It's always should have been and always will be a team stat. We have to acknowledge it as that when we discuss these things. So definitely just wanted to put a nail in that discussion as I've seen it on research online, and we can go forward from there. So definitely good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now with that, I think that's our quick little recap and discussion of things that popped up on our mind from week 3. Now we can go into week 4, and before our quick picks, of course, let's jump into the Hem Zone. There's a whole lot of good stuff that went on that I saw this week. There are great performances that I saw that I'm sure Alex will point out right now. This MVP segment, I saw some great pregame fits and touchdown celebrations and dances and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump into it. Alec, who you have for your MVP guys this week 3?
Yeah. First up, I got Lamar. I think he could have been on this list every week so far. I think I had him honorable mention on a couple. But, I mean, he's the clear MVP frontrunner to me. People have talked about Hurts, who's also been fantastic. But Lamar has got more touchdowns than every team except the Lions individually himself. So he's been backpacking that Ravens team. They should be undefeated right now. But it's unfortunate they're not. But I think they still are on that track to be maybe the 1 seed in the AFC if they get their defense together. Lamar wasn't sensational this past Sunday. I think he had 5 total touchdowns, 4 throwing, 1 rushing. And I mean, he's been dominant. There's not.
Can we stay there real quick? As we talk about our Ravens sometime. Are the Ravens biting themselves that did not pay him earlier?
I think maybe not, just because of what you talked about preseason and that they can franchise tag him. So like they still have some leverage, I guess you can say. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna want that big bag, right? And he's deserving of it. So
the number I believe in the preseason at the last discussions was 250. It seems if he stays on track, even not even fully on track, if he gets close to this all season long and shows that he's an MVP type guy yet again, numbers going to be real close to, if not more than 3. They're going to have to put out $300 million for that man. I think the Ravens, even with the ability to franchise tag him, at some point that money's going to have to be spent. And knowing now there's going to be a lot more than they may have hoped, I guess we'll say. Yeah, I think they may be biting themselves a little bit. But I'm definitely on the other side, though. He's on the team of winning for him right now. So on one end, they're hurt, like, oh, our pockets are kind of messed up, but we're winning games and we're going on again. So I guess it worked out either way. But glad that he's doing this thing and definitely get another MVP performance from him this weekend. So
I'll say that while they may not be kicking themselves, I'm kicking myself for not putting a slip in on his MVP case, because he was plus 2,000 to start the season. I said I think I like him to win MVP.
Yeah.
I think now it's like plus 500. So like
it's clear now. It's flipped 180. And my Herbert bet already looks down the drain. He's hurt and all kinds of stuff. I should have known not to bet on them Chargers. They always get hurt, but we'll save that for later on. Oh well. But definitely glad that Lamar's doing this thing. But who else you got for your MVP guys this week?
Yeah. Number 2, maybe a surprising name for some people, but at the running back position, I got Khalil Herbert. He had a sensational game against the Texans, 157 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. I think you can make the case that like the Bears should consider trading David Montgomery, to be honest, just because
I mentioned that before the season. I said I don't know how much in good graces that Montgomery is with the Bears. Well, I heard that there are rumblings that they may favor Herbert.
Right.
While Montgomery was leading the way in that backfield while he was healthy, once he went out, seeing that Herbert can produce like that, I was like, okay, maybe we should kind of just lean that way and stay there. So that definitely is a possibility. So we shall see.
Yeah. Montgomery's constantly got the injury concerns on and off the field. So, I think Khalil Herbert has shown that like when he gets the opportunity, like he's gonna succeed with it. So he's a him this week. Devonta Smith, I think we talked about preseason as well as potential breakout in his second year. He was a Heisman for a reason, like we said. Made some sensational catches against the Commanders. Hurts was feeding him. He was making contested catches. He looked amazing. I think he had like 150 yards in the first half or whatever, and they were quiet in the second half because they had control of the game. But he finished with 8 catches, 169 yards, and a touchdown. So he was like we expect him kind of to be, and I think he has the potential to continue this type of production. While it may not be the same because A.J. Brown's there, I think he can be consistent for them.
You don't see many receivers in the league truly have the ability to take over a game. There are plenty of good receivers in the league, but there are a few that can say, you know what, enough's enough. Give me the ball, throw it however you can throw it, and I'm going to go and get it. And it seemed like in that first half, Devontae was like, let me remind y'all who I am real quick. I'm still him. And he went on and put a masterclass in that first half. So definitely salute to him for that performance. It was a great one. And doing that with another guy that has the same type of ability on the squad definitely has to be praised. So, I love what I saw from him. I'm happy for that squad there.
I guess he hasn't proven it to Matt yet fully, though, because he's still on his bench. So.
Hey. That's not for us. That's not our call to make. Not our call to make.
At the last him spot, I got Mark Andrews, your Baltimore Raven. He's been the best tight end in the league so far this year.
Correct.
8 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously Lamar's favorite target, probably still his best target. Bateman has showed flashes here and there, but Andrews unguardable like by linebackers and that's who he's mostly going against. So he's been cooking, and if Lamar continues to dominate, he's going to continue to dominate. So
absolutely, okay, I mean, I can't argue with any of that. I liked all of those. If I just stamp one, I'll go with you. Go with our guy and say Lamar was the true MVP this week as my pick as well. But definitely a great week of performances. Looking forward to having to go next week. We have some good games. I'm excited to see how you're leaning in whichever way as we go on with the episode. Good stuff there. Yeah, that's a real tough pick. But
real quick.
Go ahead.
Just honorable mention. I had Hurts on there. Like I said, he's probably maybe 2, maybe 3, I guess, behind Josh Allen, but he's in that MVP discussion right now. Trevor Lawrence, who we talked about at the top of the show, he had a great week, 3 touchdowns. They dominated the Chargers while they had some injuries. It was still an impressive performance to me. And then Saquon again, I think he had 130 or so like multi-purpose yards, but he's still looking 100% and looking like the Saquon of old. So he's on track to potentially like be the best running back in the league this year.
Glad to see him back in that. I was trying to think of our mentions too, but I was like, Lamar Clear is that guy. So it's like it was hard to so there was no point on my end. But definitely good stuff there. Now going to my things. At least I'll start with one and I'll go back to you. Best pregame picks as I do it with my him zone segments that I had some fun ones I saw this week. Definitely were some good stuff. Mercedes Lewis right now last week had a real nice outfit that I saw. He had this like it was a cream shirt. I think it was from Fear of God. He had this orange vest on top of it. He had this, I think it was a black hat, possibly. I forgot what color the hat was. My apologies. But it was a dope hat. Some jeans shorts from denim shorts from I think they were off-white, and some Yeezys on the bottom. It was just a real clean. I like how guys layer things sometimes, and it all fit him real well. And that was a dope one. Another one that I saw was DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf honestly could be on my list every week. He always seems to put on and have some nice things in the games. Not diva, but he definitely likes to make himself seen whenever he is on the field and things. So this last weekend he had a nice outfit. Had this Comme des Garçons. It was like a sleeveless sweater. I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's a real nice sleeveless on that he had. Orange, I guess orange is kind of the thing of the week for guys as we're heading into October and Halloween and things. But it is orange Miri pants on and some Dolce & Gabbana shoes on that are real nice all together. That's a real good on him. Not, Joe Biden might be taking notes from them, but who knows? But definitely like how DK put that on. And then the last one I'll mention, Von Miller. I'm a fan of the Shiesties, the mask and things that guys put on sometimes. And Von Miller had this nice black. It was from, I think it was from Los Angeles, with a black mask on, with some shades on in the middle, kind of covering up his whole face. Then he had this nice black
probably
t-shirt
should have
on.
took that off because that whole team had heat exhaustion.
Oh yeah, they were a little warm out there, so I don't know if that was the best decision, but hey, walking in at least it looked good. He had that on, and these like a nice mirror floral shorts on, and some black high top rigs on his feet. That all together would look nice. He tends to put on his full head in the games, and that was a dope one. And again, because I like I like the mask, the Shiesties, I'll give him my fit of the week. I like how you put it all together. Then honorable mention, I guess, Marquise Goodwin had a nice all black fit as well. Mason Margiela top, Sakai pants, and some Celine shoes on. All together were clean too. But yeah, Von Miller got my fit of the week. And before I get back to my stuff, I want to pass it back to you. Do you have a not MVP this week?
Yeah, I was gonna say let me get to the hater segment side.
Let's get to it.
It's looking kind of nasty. I could have put like 5 or 6 quarterbacks on this because there was some real nasty performances. But sadly, Justin Fields just does not look like him really at all. To be honest, like he's got the athletic ability, but the accuracy is looking pretty poor. They're not really giving him the chance to throw it more, but the throws he has made have not looked great.
He also didn't have really anyone to throw to. I know Mooney is
not Mooney, but he has not gotten it to Mooney or Komet. So yeah, it's looked rough. It's looked rough.
2-hour discussion about wins not being a QB stat. Do you think Justin still has the talent and doesn't have the help, or do you think Justin just does not have the talent either?
I think maybe he's just like still a little bit raw. Like he could use maybe getting reps behind a QB like in his own organization, who's a veteran and has played the position well before. He hasn't really. What is it?
Is Andy Dalton there? Where's Andy Dalton at?
I think it is Andy Dalton.
And yeah, I don't know how much you learned from him, but
he would be better than Fields right now. But that's not like the best person to like sit behind, learn from.
Right.
But I think he would benefit from that because he seems like he's clearly like still a little bit raw at the position. Because athletically gifted for sure, but the team like has its shortcomings. But like even with the team shortcomings, like he's still underperformed. So it's been tough. Like total on the season, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns for all 3 games and 4 interceptions. So like. It's been rough, and they still managed to win 2 games, but it's been rough. Baker Mayfield, I didn't even want to put the stats. I just said ass. He's completely up there. 52% completion on the season. It's not looking pretty. I think Odell and his father were right as we.
They were onto something. We're gonna see a DJ Moore highlight film going out soon, and Robbie Anderson. And Laviska Shenault and whoever else over there.
I feel like
we're trying to put out the highlight tapes in a second.
I feel like Boo Boo the Clown for drafting DJ Moore, knowing that he had Baker Mayfield as his quarterback. I was like, I listened to too much of the offseason chatter, like, oh, he's getting a QB upgrade from Darnold to Mayfield. Nope, Mayfield's ass too. So
it's not really an upgrade, but sorry.
Nah, and it's been tough for CMC too. Like people who drafted McCaffrey early are not really getting the benefits because he's not going off like that either. So
he was on my do not touch list. I knew it.
Yeah. So Baker's there. Third on here, a guy that you've probably wanted me to put on here a couple weeks, but Russell Wilson.
Let's talk about it.
I'm saying not him anymore, I guess, because he's on the slight downward trend. He's I think he's still got the arm talent. But in this offense, it hasn't looked pretty so far. They played a good 49ers defense, but he put up less than 200 yards, no touchdowns. And the offense has not looked good for the first 3 weeks of the season. They've pretty much been carried by that defense and some of the running back play. But, Russell Wilson, he's not looking like a top 10 QB in the league right now. Like he's looking slightly like above average right now, and
Mm-hmm.
it just hasn't been impressive. I don't think he's getting the MVP vote once again. So yeah,
Yeah, they're what I'm trying to say. Just like we saw in Seattle, that their things may start off good and then fall off. Now it's not even starting good, and he's struggling to even get out the gate. I think another thing too is just chemistry, because when you were in Seattle for as long as you were, and you have the style that he plays, he has very much a I guess I call it backyard, because that's a typical way people describe it. A backyard style where he drops back for 10 seconds, runs around, finds guys, and does that. For players in Seattle, DK and Tyler Lockett, who knew that play style, knew which ways to go as he was scrambling around and how to find stay in his vision, they made that work a little bit. But for new guys that are coming in and they're used to, you're trained your whole life to run routes this way and your ball's going to be out at this time and make sure you're looking at in X, Y, and Z. When you play with him and now you're running your route looking and he's still back there running around, now you're trying to adjust and you don't know where he's going, everybody's just lost. I mean, it's hard for everybody to adjust to that. So, definitely some things for them to continue to adjust to. And, they've had some things to get right there. Also, to our point again about the winning discussion, as we said earlier, the coaching hasn't been the greatest either. I think Hackett just hired a special coordinator or something like that to help him out. With
game day decisions,
game day, be the head coach for me, pretty much. So that's already a major red flag, and hopefully everybody gets in sync and steps to the level that we believe that they could be at. So definitely for right now, it is not him though.
I agree with you shooting him some bail that it's a new coach, new system, new team, got to develop some chemistry. Maybe they do turn it around soon in the passing game, but they haven't really showed flashes for me to think that they will get to a even close to elite passing attack.
The score last week was what, 11-10?
Yeah, 11-10.
Yeah, like if you are Russ, you're the $250 million man we're going to trade you. You gotta put numbers on the board, man. And even if there is some things that aren't in sync yet, like you gotta show that you really are the guy that's going to be here for the next 6-7 years, however long you signed on for. So that definitely is a tough look right now.
Okay, and this last one, bear with me.
Oh, no.
You're not gonna like the name because I think he's still him, but his last couple performances have been he's been shut down in prime time on Monday night, and then last week he's been shut down by who'd they play?
I can't even think of who you're talking about right now.
Was it the Lions who they played?
Who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about.
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, whatever. Hey, I'm not mad at that. I thought you were gonna say. I know who I thought you were gonna say. That's not with me. Yeah, not been good.
Because people, including you, believe that he's gonna be the offensive player of the year. I think he has that type of talent, but it's been 2 straight weeks now where you're the number one guy. You're obviously going to get the number one guy type attention. We still expect you to produce. Last week, he had 3 catches for 14 yards. And the week before that, he had 6 for 48 or something like that. And he was shut down by Darius Slay. So, and then this week he's going into, I think they're playing in London, but they're playing the Saints. So this is going to be another solid secondary. Marshawn Lattimore is, I'm sure, going to be watching him. So it's potential to be 3 down weeks in a row. And this is the guy we're talking about for Offensive Player of the Year. Brought out the diamond-encrusted gloves for last week and then only got 14 yards. So it's a week-to-week thing. That's why I'm saying not him. I do believe he is a one-of-one type player, but it's been rough. Yeah.
It definitely is rough, and I get why you put that because the stats don't look great. The things I did see with him these last 4 weeks, though, people acknowledge that he's him and see the time that they have. So you have defense starting to shade him more, and you put the safety over the top, and then linebacker sits and make sure if he runs slants or anything inside, that he's going to be sitting there waiting for that ball. And he's basically triple covered on a lot of plays. And it's really a tough look for him to get that. So we've seen a slight increase in production from, I think Thielen has looked a little bit better in the last couple of games. And we've seen Osborne get a touchdown or so in the last game or two. It's a result of I guess the gravity, as basketball people like to say,
Listen,
of Jefferson.
I hear that point, but then I'll tell you, this is the guy, head coach Kevin O'Connell came from the Rams and was scheming up Cooper Kupp to get wide open. And Cooper Kupp was getting a lot of attention as the Triple Crown winner last year, too. So
I totally get that.
With that, you know you're the number one guy, and you know you're going to have a lot of eyes on you. And you pride yourself on your route running and getting separation. And it hasn't been happening the last couple of weeks. So you got to show us why you believe you're him again.
I fully hear you, and I'm totally fine with him being on this list. I'm just saying I also get at least somewhat why the numbers haven't been that great as well. So again, just trying to add a little bit of context, but on the joking side, yeah, he got to step it up a little bit. And even with all the shading and things that be going on, you all find your way somehow and get the ball. So if you got full of Debo start going wide back and get the ball at the backfield or whatever, how you get the ball now, you gotta make it happen because the target's now on your back. We saw that first week performance, that was great. Now you gotta find ways to replicate that how you need to do so. So O'Connor and all the rest of them guys, Kirk Cousins gotta step it up. So we shall see. But yeah, definitely a good thing there. I like your list there. So yeah, those are some great Nottingham picks there. Now going back to my picks, best TV celebrations. There were some fun ones this week that I really enjoyed. Jamal Williams for the Lions.
Jamal Williams,
had to be first on the list because he got fined for it, I think. He went around the Ken Peel to swirl a little bit, swung his hips, and he had one too many pumps in there.
Kringleberry or whatever.
Yeah, he was watching the hips a little closely. 1, 2, 3, flag, there you go. And got fined for that. So because of that, I definitely had to mention him. We really enjoyed that and loved just his personality. Every time you see him talk or anything, always had the biggest smile on his face, and just a guy that seems to be a joy to play with and be around. So yeah, Jamal Williams definitely first on the list there. The next one is kind of like last week where I talked about how the gritty against Justin Jefferson had to be mentioned because you're going against the guy that kind of popularized the dance. In the same way, the Jaguars played the Chargers last week. Zay Jones got a touchdown and did the LT flick. And that stung a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think guys have done that before, but for whatever reason, when I saw that, I'm like, dang, you can't do that against LT squad. That's cold. So definitely I had to give him props for that. Zay Jones with the LT versus the Chargers, and then back to in the same way as Gesicki and his gritty. Mac Jones, Mac Jones loves to gritty himself. He got in the end zone this last weekend. He did his white boy gritty a little bit.
Yeah. It was a little zesty.
Yeah, it was a little zest to him. I think his was different. I don't know what he got going on, but definitely was funny to watch.
Yeah.
So I wanted to point that out. And then lastly, Travis Kelce versus the Colts. I think they played last week. So I don't know why he's doing it versus them, but try to do a little Bay Area sneeze dance a little bit, and it didn't look right at all. I don't know what he thought he was doing.
Hey, that's a black king right there. So I can't.
It wasn't acting like it this last week. I don't know what that was. But I'll point those four out as my favorite celebration of the week. So Jamal Williams with the swirl, Zay Jones with the LT flick, Mac Jones's zesty gritty, and Kelce with his fake sneeze thing he was trying to do. Definitely I wanted to point those out. So that was a fun one. And then lastly for my things, the best trick play, extended play type thing that I saw of the week. Definitely actually some good ones. To our point about Lamar and then the Ravens getting a lot of praise. They had a real nice play and we're ending with the ball. They were in this bunch formation. They had two receivers on the left kind of stacked. They had Andrews tight, and then Lamar and Dobbins in the backfield, in shotgun. They motioned Dobbins away as if he was going to go out and lead block for a Lamar dive. They faked left, and they all were doing that. Lamar did kind of a fake half step, but backside Lamar Andrews comes cutting under, kind of like how the Chiefs do sometimes, and he did a shoulder pass to Andrews, and it was real slick. So definitely wanted to mention that one. That was a dope play that I saw. And then we just talked about Justin Jefferson trying to replicate what Cooper Kupp was doing. Cooper Kupp still is doing his thing. I had a nice play this last week. The Rams were in I formation, Kupp motioned, and it wasn't the most crazy play, but just how the Rams were able to disguise it as a run to Akers at first, but turned and gave it to Kupp as he was motioning across. And Kupp just whipped around and went up the sideline, and the Cardinals had nothing with it. So definitely was an impressive play there. that I want to mention. The Rams continue to be very innovative with their offense and finding new ways to cup the ball, as I mentioned, and like that design there for him. So definitely want to mention that. And then actually two more. One was a funny one. The Steelers versus Browns on Thursday night.
Okay.
The Steelers are down. I think it was 6 with 5 seconds left. We're on their own 4 or 5 yard line. They were deep, pinned back or whatever. Tried to do a hook and ladder and start pitching the ball around to get the ball upfield, and threw the ball back into the end zone. And the Browns got the ball in the end zone for another touchdown themselves. And while that's not necessarily a great play for the Browns design or anything like that,
I know that killed some people's bets for sure.
It killed a few people's bets and helped out my fans team, I believe, and things of that nature. So, yeah, definitely was a funny one that I kind of wanted to mention. And then another real one I wanted to mention, kind of extended play, another Lamar to Andrews connection actually was the one. Lamar dropped back from the 25, was trying to scramble around a little bit and find somebody. Out of his back foot, lobs it up to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews goes up and mosses 2 guys in the end zone and caught that. And I was like, you know what? I was watching all these plays over the weekend. I'm like, I had to mention both. That was too good. So, both Lamar to Andrews, touchdowns there. Cooper Kupp's reversed, and the Steelers failed. Hook and ladder last second play, but the Browns scored on one of my favorite plays this last week. So there'll be a lot of fun stuff. Then we hit us up with your favorite plays this last week and all that good stuff. And that was it for our picks there for the him zone. Now as we go on though, there are other things we want to discuss in this though. As we said, we're now 3 weeks in, and we're gonna start doing rankings for guys. So first off, we're gonna have our first MVP season rankings, ranking our MVP favorites, and definitely excited to see who you have as your top 3. As we're gonna do with multiple segments, we're gonna do three real picks and then 1 sleeper guy. So we might have the same sleeper. We should see what you say. But Alec, who you have as your MVP top 3 through 3 weeks?
Yeah. Number 1 right now is Lamar. I think that's unquestioned.
Agree.
Number 2, I'd probably have Josh Allen. Number 3 is interesting. I'm just going through some of my him picks as well. Probably Jalen Hurts. Sleeper pick. Let's see if there's a non-QB guy. I don't know if there's really a non-QB guy that's been that dominant. I like what Saquon's done in multiple weeks, though.
Yeah.
I'll throw Saquon in there just for a sleeper. Yeah,
I'm totally fine with that. Love what he's doing. To your top 3, I have the same 3. It really just depends on the order. Right now, I have Lamar as my number 1 as well. I actually have Jalen above Josh. I have Jalen above him because the Eagles currently are 3-0 and they've looked really good in all their performances. Josh Allen, while they look dominant in a couple of them, they also look bad in their loss to the Dolphins. So I have to have that have some weight in this ranking. And so for right now, Lamar, Jalen, Josh are my top 3. And then for my sleeper, Trevor Lawrence actually is my sleeper pick for that. Seeing the turnaround that they're having in Jacksonville. As I mentioned, I was going to kind of lose them again. Here's where I was going to bring it up. Trevor Lawrence definitely has been impressive. Back to showing that he is that guy that we thought he would be, as I said, coming out of college and all that stuff. And I'm really enjoying the performance they've been putting together so far. So Trevor Lawrence right now actually is my sleeper MVP pick. So yeah, definitely good stuff there. And really, really fun things going on in that race. There's going to be a lot of other guys that are might think of in their list going forward. Tua's already go off to a high start. He's going to try to fight his way into that. And others, I'm sure, are going to try to get involved. So I'm looking forward to how this list adjusts as we go on. And now, as we go into the next part, and I mentioned we were doing all the him things, and that's definitely the trend and all of that. And I wanted to add to it, going beyond just individual things. I wanted to have a them ranking as well for the best team in the league. And the idea I had for it, actually, instead of us just saying it and saying our top 3, which we could have done, people like to do polls and do different types of ways to vote on teams and things. So this is going to be a slightly longer version of it, but another podcast Stay Hot, who you alluded to a few times now. Bladen, who was a host on their show, has this team ranking on his site that allows you to rank teams accordingly. And we'll have our first ranking here using his system, and we'll go on as we go forward throughout the season and see how accurate this is as things go along. So as we jump into it now, Alec, I think we can kind of speed through some of the early ones.
I was gonna say real quick, you want to do it like based on like what we've seen these 3 weeks, or like what you're projecting, kind of? Okay.
I think based on what we've seen these first 3 weeks, and we'll rank just the best teams right now, and then react to that once it's all finalized. So yeah, let's do that. Best teams right now. Our first them rankings done via Bladen and the Stay Hot Pod and their page here. Let's jump into it. So Titans and Commanders, who we got here?
Commanders.
Bucks here. We can speed through some of these, right? Niners, correct?
Yeah.
Eagles, correct?
Yeah. Jets have been good,
though. Yeah, Saints and Giants. I'll lean Giants in that, but the Saints, I can see going either way. I'll let you do the toss-up. I'll let you call it.
That's a toss-up. I don't love Daniel Jones.
No, but Giants is not
I'll go Giants. I'll go Giants.
Giants. I think Vikings clearly here, correct?
Vikings, but they haven't impressed me. Vikings.
No. Patriots now without Mac is going to be out for a little while too. Yeah, I think the Vikings are just above them. Dolphins, Rams, that's a good one. Dolphins right now, but the Rams are figuring it out and could be back up. Definitely not the Raiders right now. Even with the Chargers having all their injuries, the Chargers definitely bringing the Raiders, who are off to a 0-3 start. Definitely have some work to do in that regard. So not them. Jaguars are looking good right now. Jaguars, Chiefs. That's a very fun one in the moment. I still say Chiefs, but the Jaguars might be right below them.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I'll say Chiefs, but that's a fun one. Both 2-1, I believe.
Both 2-1. Yeah. It's wherever they are at, I think they're right next to each other. So yeah, I'll say Chiefs.
If these teams were to play, I would lean Chiefs too. So yeah.
Yeah, most likely. Next, Texans, Colts. Jesus Christ.
The team that tied each other. I guess the Colts, but
yeah,
I don't really care.
Yeah. Lions, Packers should be a fun one, but the Lions still have a little bit more work to do. So Packers for sure in that. Broncos, Cowboys is kind of a good one.
I'd honestly lean Cowboys. I think
I was gonna say I lean Cowboys, to be honest with you, Russ. Yeah. Got some more riding to do. Pause.
Oh.
I was trying to figure out how to say that. It didn't come out right, but y'all know what I mean. Bengals, Browns, moving on. Bengals, Browns.
I think the Browns have the better record, but to this point, I'd still say the Bengals.
Well, I have to give credit to that, and also said the Bengals have not looked good so far. They had a decent bounce back last week.
Yeah.
But the Browns so far, I might give that to them, to be honest. But I'll let you call it. You said who?
If you want to give it for the Browns for the record, too, because more power rankings and Browns is fine.
Yeah. Because of record right now, I'll give it to the Browns.
These teams played each other, too, right? Or did they? No, they didn't.
No, but
it's a mid-off.
It's truly a mid-off. Are they both somehow 2-1 right now also?
Yeah. The Panthers have more talent. No, I think are the Panthers 1-2?
They
lost
be.
to the Browns.
Let me see.
They won last week, but they lost to the Browns. Who'd they play week 2?
What are we saying right now? Panthers?
Yeah.
Panthers are 1-2.
Yeah. So I guess the Bears.
So I guess we give it to the Bears. We won't solely base this just off the record, but when it's close like this, the record will be what the deciding factor is. So Bears in this one will be the split.
If we were projecting, I would say the Panthers, but
Ravens, Bills.
Right now it's Bills to me, but I think I got both these teams going 13-4. So, but I got Bills.
They play this week, so this could shift quickly. So I'll give the Bills.
Ravens defenses look bad to me.
Yeah, I want to give the Ravens this. I'm not gonna lie, even beyond bias. The Ravens, even in their loss, even they folded you against that Dolphins squad after the Bills. So I'll give you the Bills, though. I'll give you the Bills. Cardinals, Falcons.
Cardinals, but not impressive.
Yeah. Seahawks, Titans. Titans, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
They're about the same. Yeah, Titans, though.
Yeah. Let's try to breeze through some of these early ones. There's still a long way to go, as you see. Bucks. Steelers. Oh, wait, no. Did the Jets beat them, right?
Yes. No. The Jets beat the Browns and just the Browns. They lost to the Ravens.
And the Bengals. They beat the Bengals, right?
They lost to the Bengals. Bengals just played them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah. All right. Steelers, Eagles.
Saints,
Vikings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Vikings. Rams. Yeah. Rams, Chargers. I think Rams because of health.
Rams. Yeah.
Jaguars. Oh, these damn Broncos. Every time.
Yeah.
Broncos, but yeah.
Packers.
Ooh, Packers.
I'll lean
right?
Packers there, yeah.
Yeah.
I lean Bengals. Baker's ass.
Bengals. Ravens.
Yeah.
Ravens.
I go Jets there.
I might go Jets there. Yeah. Titans barely.
I think still the Titans.
Still the Titans.
Maybe different with Pickett, but
Niners, but y'all got some work to do. We both said Jimmy statement game last week, and that did not get that off. Jesus, man. Niners, Commanders.
I'll say Niners.
Niners.
Better roster. Bucks.
Yeah. Bucks. Eagles here.
Right now, Eagles. Yeah.
Pretty confidently right now.
Pats.
Raiders
might end up last.
They might be last right now, which is sad because they have some talent there. But Jesus, man.
Chargers
above them, even with injuries and things. I would put the Chargers above them too, to be honest, even with injuries and things.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
It might stop here. What do you think of the Giants? They haven't been the best either. I still want to go Chargers. Yeah. All right, now we can stop. Vikings.
It's still tough.
It's tough.
I guess the Vikings, though.
Yeah. Okay. Rams. Lions.
You said Lions?
Yeah, right.
They have the best offense right now in the league, I guess. So, yeah, I'd say Lions.
Texans are what, 0-2-1 right now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like the Lions offense a lot more than I like the Colts, but
do we give the Colts any credit for being the Chiefs just now? Do we mark that as a turn for the team and give them the nod over the line?
A desperation win.
It really was, but even still, you want to give them the nod over the Lions, which is crazy to say, but
they're 1-1-1, I guess. Yeah, Colts. A lot of these are hard. These mid-offs.
Yeah, the mid-offs are frustrating. Broncos, though, right?
Broncos.
Even with their struggles. Jaguars here.
Jags.
Yeah.
I think with Dak, I'd probably lean Cowboys. I think they have the same record, 2-1.
So we're projecting, right? Slightly, at least.
Because they're essentially the same right now.
Yeah.
They're both 2-1. Decent wins. Good defenses.
Well, just say right now, who you say is better?
Cowboys still won games. I don't.
Yeah. All right, I'll give it to them. That's fine.
Chiefs.
Right. Chiefs, though.
Chiefs still. I like the receiving core more.
It should be the Falcons, but the Falcons have some struggles themselves. I'll give the slight nod Panthers here.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we can go Cardinals here.
Cardinals
here.
I'd go Bengals over Cardinals.
Right now?
They're both 1-2.
Okay, I'll give Bengals that thing.
Ravens.
Gotta go Ravens here.
Ravens.
Gotta go Ravens here. Jesus Christ. It should not even be a discussion. But God,
I go the
Raiders,
Seahawks.
man.
I'd probably go the Seahawks right now.
You have to give it to the Seahawks right now. The Raiders just can't put anything together properly.
I go Patriots.
I go Patriots here. This is about as low as they'll go.
I'd probably go Jets, to be honest.
In Flacco, we trust. I'm fine with that.
And Zach Wilson's coming back this week. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did see that. Joe Flacco's still elite, but that's not the competition of that.
No, last week. Saints.
Steelers, right?
Steelers, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Giants low here.
Yeah, it's close.
Titans.
They beat the Titans. I'll give them the Giants.
Did they play already too?
I go Giants too. Niners.
Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Niners over the Vikings too. I don't know about you.
They play this week as well. I'm still going Rams though, correct?
I like the Niners.
You like the Niners with the Rams?
I don't. The Rams have not impressed me this year so far.
They haven't impressed me either. But I'll give you that then.
Okay, this week I'm saying I'm picking the 49ers over the Rams, but
all right, I'll give you that.
Better quarterback, better top end receiver, I guess. Debo's nice too, though.
Yeah.
Defense is better for the Niners. Dolphins.
Dolphins here for sure.
Giving them their respect right now. Dolphins
right now for sure.
Bucks are not healthy. This would be a good matchup to see.
It'd be a good matchup. The Dolphins are 2-1 right now, right? Or they're 3-0. They're both 3-0, right? Both of these teams, right?
I think they're the last undefeated teams. Yep.
They're
both 3-0.
I have to give Dolphins credit for beating the Ravens and the Bills, who we have highly as well.
Yeah.
The Eagles have looked great too, but come on now. Like, you can't beat both them squads and not be top tier.
Yeah, Dolphins right now.
I'm going to give the Dolphins that right now. Falcons, I guess.
I guess Falcons, sure.
Lions here.
Yeah. Lions
here.
Lions, yeah.
Cardinals,
I guess, yeah. I'd lean Broncos.
I'll give the Broncos that, fine. Bengals.
Right now, I'd probably lean Broncos. I like the Bengals long term, but
yeah. Hey, what's the next say? It's a fluid list.
It is though.
It is.
It's a power ranking, so
3 weeks from now to adjust this.
Broncos,
Broncos, Ravens. Yeah, Ravens. Correct.
Yeah. The defense is worrisome though.
It is worrisome, but I think they can right that wrong. The Packers are trying to figure out that receiving core and things, and have their own issues.
Yeah.
I will say that the Ravens are above them right now. I want to say they're neck and neck.
I want to say Ravens too. Chiefs really should have been undefeated still, though.
They should have been, but you got to knock them for losing to the Colts, man. They lost. We were retiring Matt Ryan last week.
Yeah.
And they beat this team. Yeah. So
I guess Ravens. Ravens right now.
Ravens that slightly.
Texas.
Goddamn Raiders, man.
All right. You picked two. I was gonna say this might be where I pick actually the Raiders, but
yeah, it's too late now. I mean, that's their own fault. It's their own fault.
Texans, I guess. Pats.
Lions.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I think the Lions.
I jumped, but whatever. Lions, Jets.
That's an intriguing one.
Yeah, like you said, the mid-offs are killing us right now.
They really are. Both 1 and 2. I like the Lions, man. Like, their offense has been electric.
I agree with that, but I acknowledge the record there with both of them. So yeah, I'll give you the Lions.
I'd probably say Saints.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Saints too.
Cardinals here.
Yeah. There's a lot of 1 and 2 teams in the league right now. Yeah. Cardinals. I'd probably take them in a matchup right now.
Yeah.
This one would probably be close to. I probably Cardinals right now. Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Maybe the Giants.
They're both 1 and 2.
Yes. Yeah. No. Giants are 2 and 1.
Giants it is. Giants, Bengals.
Giants have a better record too. They're 2 and 1.
Are we putting weight? How much weight are we putting into the Bengals trying to get around
Giants
last week though?
Giants beat the Titans, and who did they beat week 2?
You can put it up real quick. I can jump in there.
Oh, they beat the Panthers.
Oh, so 2 bum ass. Yeah. No.
Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Bengals that. I'll say Chargers right now.
They look a little questionable right now. Just with help.
Yeah, they may drop off completely after this, but for right now, I'll think they're a better team.
I'd put them over the Browns.
I'd put them over the Browns as well.
Probably the Broncos right now. That a little bit more stable. They just haven't been impressive. Yeah.
Head to head, who would you pick? Broncos as well?
Right. Yeah. Right now, I'd probably pick the Broncos. It wouldn't be pretty though. Yeah.
No.
Broncos right now. Probably the Rams. Both these teams have been underwhelming to me. So
yeah, I want to give a slight nod to the Rams though here.
Yeah,
I don't want to put the Broncos too high because I don't think they're actually that good.
Yeah,
we're picking a few times more than I think we may have should have. We'll see.
You did that quick.
I did that quick by
accident. You might have picked Jaguars over Rams there.
Low key, I'm not too mad at that. As you said, the Rams have. It's not a complete jump. So I'm not too mad at that right now. Niners.
We might have the Jaguars high if they're over the Niners too.
They've been playing decent so far, so you gotta acknowledge that.
They have.
It is what it is.
Are you saying Jags?
I would like to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to give them that. I'll give the Bucks that here now, though. Even though the Bucks are what right now?
Still 2 and 1 with the injuries.
Yeah, and they're getting their guys back going forward.
Yeah.
Don't ask Tom. I'll give you your spot, man. All right.
I give it to the Bucks. I give it to the Bucks.
Bucks here.
Packers just
beat them, right? Yeah, guys, just acknowledge that. I think Eagles over the Packers right now. I think Eagles over the Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
I'd say Eagles barely over the Ravens right now, correct? Or no?
Just because of that defense, too, yeah. I like the Ravens over them long term, but
yeah,
I like the Bills more than I like the Eagles, to be honest.
I think we kind of shifted our plan as we went. We're kind of doing head to head. We're kind of doing forward. So right now is what we're saying.
No, yeah, we're doing it for right now. I'm just saying long term, I like them more.
Got it. Okay, so right now, Eagles and Bills.
For right now, I like the Bills more too. I think the team they lost to is a good team in the Dolphins. So
yeah. The Dolphins just beat them, so we'll give them credit, correct?
Yeah, we'll give them the credit.
So here we go. Here's the ranking as for the moment. Dolphins at 1, Bills at 2, Eagles at 3, Ravens at 4, Chiefs at 5, Packers at 6, Bucks at 7, Cowboys at 8, which is crazy. Cowboys at 8.
Cooper Rush has held it down.
Jaguars are lower than the Cowboys right now. That's tough. That's tough. Jaguars are 9, Niners are 10, and then the last notable ones: Rams are 11, Broncos 12, Vikings 13, Chargers 14, and Browns above the Bengals right now at the 15th spot. So
yeah,
and then most notably, I guess, on the list, the biggest standard of it all, Raiders are dead last.
32.
So, yeah, it is what it is. That's what y'all get for being so bad. I have to acknowledge the record there. So we can play and stay hot pod for putting this together. Really like this, and we'll revisit it as we go on. As we say, every 3 weeks, we'll come back and redo our ranking and see how things adjust.
Yeah.
I'll screenshot and save this one for now. We'll refer back to it. But now looking at this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, just real quick looking at this list. I think I like the top 7 that we have. I could flip the Jaguars and the Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
Just giving them the credit how they've been playing. But other than that, the Rams could maybe be a little bit higher. Like they could be higher than the Niners. They could be 10. Other than that, I like where we have everybody.
We sped through a few picks, so it is what it is. But as we said, we'll be back every 3 weeks to revisit it, and we'll adjust things accordingly. But I think this is a good start and accurate to how the season has gone. There are surely some debates here that people can look at and say teams should be higher or lower. But for right now, I'm okay with stamping this for this first list. So this is it for our first dem rankings. I'm excited to see how things adjust. I guess that was the last thing I was going to ask you. Who do you think on this list rises or falls the most in the next 3 weeks?
It would help if I looked at their schedules, but just off the top of my head, rises. Who can rise? Jets. I think the Lions can maybe rise a little bit because that offense has been the best in the NFL, other than Lamar Jackson himself.
Right.
Let's see. No one else on that bottom 16. No one really else I see like rising significantly.
Well, as we joke throughout the whole thing, the Raiders are not the worst team in football. They just aren't putting things together right now. So I think if they can start winning games these next
that division, it will be a bloodbath still.
It will be a bloodbath, but I don't think they're going to be the worst team in football the rest of the season. They're going to win games at some point, and I believe in the next 3 they can get 1 or 2 hopefully. Again, like you said, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I believe with Garrett Carr and Devontae there, that they can figure that out some kind of way and get someone on the board. So I believe they will start to rise. Things will start to click eventually.
And then let's see, falling.
The Chargers naturally are going to fall with all the injuries they have. They're only getting more injured. Rashawn Slater, I believe, just went down for the season. Gene Allen was off and on. Herbert and his rib are still continuing to be issues, it appears. So they might fall even more than that.
I think the top 7 teams on here are legit.
I think they're going to be stamped that way for the whole season. Will the Broncos get higher than 12?
I'm gonna say no.
Agreed. They'll stay in that borderline top 10.
Yeah.
Just compared to the rest of the league, I don't really think they're that good. So yeah, we'll see.
That's tough. I want to say the Bengals will climb a bit, but like I said before the season started, they were a really tough schedule, like probably the hardest in the NFL. So I think they get 9-10 wins tops. So they may be in that 12 to 15 range. But you could say like the Bengals and the Broncos maybe swap places. Something like that.
Do the Cardinals knock anybody out of that top and move over to the left side of the list there?
I don't see it. Kyler has not impressed me still.
Got it.
Okay. Nor has Kingsbury. So
I agree with you. I'm fully with you on that. This is a great starting point for the season. Again, you guys can comment and let us know who you disagree with in our rankings so far. They're looking forward to revisiting this. And again, shout out to the Stay Hot Pod for putting that together. And definitely we'll be using that as we go forward. So good stuff there. And now as we get back to us here, that's really it for the Him Zone thing. There'll be a whole lot of good stuff there. Again, please, I love you guys. Show us in those segments plenty of stuff that's been going on throughout the week as we continue to add things to it and a lot of fun stuff with it. So again, show love online. Follow us on IG and TikTok at section.300. Follow us on IG at our Twitter, Section Sports, and all that good stuff. And plenty from the Him Zone. We'll be there for you guys to talk about. And yeah, again, appreciate you for it. So That's it for the him zone. Now
quick
we can go on to week 4. Last thing on the list for us today on the show is our quick picks. Another good week of things. As we said, I'm up in the series for us right now. I think I'm up 2-1 on you. Last week last week you went 6-10 with your picks. I went 8-8. We didn't have as many different picks as we thought, I guess, or things just panned out in a way where I only beat you by 2. But excited to see how this one plays out. And yeah, there's plenty of good games that we may be very split on. So jumping into week 4 quick picks, Thursday, Dolphins at Bengals. Bengals at 3.5 points is what I saw. They got Bengals ahead in that one. Who you got?
Yeah. I see Cincy -4 right now. The Dolphins have been like cream of the crop. I do like the Bengals in this game though. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals. I'm doing quick picks, so I won't go too deep into
it. Even quick picks again, we cutting all that. You can keep saying I'll cut it. But you're going Bengals. Do you put any credence into them wearing the all white jerseys on Thursday night? They're
doing the white helmets. The white helmets.
Oh, right? I saw all white.
It might be, but they're debuting like the white helmet that everyone's been creaming themselves over. So,
oh God, yeah. Does that add to your reasoning why they win or
not? No. I just think they're like gonna start to turn things in the right direction as they did last week. I don't think they're as bad as the first week was, like against the Steelers and that kind of thing. So, I think this will be a shootout type game, and I could see the Dolphins winning it. But I like the Bengals.
Yeah, and sure, we see how shootouts have gone for the Dolphins so far. I think it continues. I have the Dolphins winning this one.
Yep.
Moving on to Sunday, Vikings Saints in London, early game. Vikings at 2.5.
Top of the morning. Let's see. Vikings versus Saints. Give me the Saints.
The Vikings. All right. So Seahawks at Lions. Lions at 4.5.
Seahawks at Lions. Lions.
Yeah. Lions. Jets at Steelers. Steelers at 3.5.
Jets.
Damn. Yeah, Jets. Zach Wilson returns.
You don't want to agree with me?
I don't want to say a full even pick. I like the balance. But yeah. Moving on, Bears at Giants. Giants at 3 points.
Giants.
Titans at Colts. Colts at 3 points.
Titans.
Another mid-off. I'm gonna go Derrick Henry. I'll do my fancy thing to pick. I'll go Derrick Henry. I'll go Titans as well.
Yep.
Chargers at Texans. Chargers at 5.5.
Yes, Chargers. Yeah, I think Keenan Allen's back too. Hopefully.
Yeah, they're hurt. They're not that hurt. I'm going Chargers. Browns at Falcons. Browns at 1.5.
Browns.
Commanders at Cowboys. Cowboys at 3.5 points.
I'll go Cowboys. I think Wentz gets a little overzealous, throws those interceptions.
I like that Cowboys a lot. I'm going Cowboys. Jaguars at Eagles. Eagles at 6.5.
Jaguars at Eagles?
Yeah.
In Philly. Jaguars, I think, are a legit good team. Maybe not a contender, but I think they're good. Doug Peterson revenge game.
Yeah. This might ruin a few parlays for some folks. Yeah.
What's the line?
6.5. Philly.
I'll go Jags.
I'm very tempted.
I'll go Jags.
Very tempted.
I'll go Jags. James Robinson been elite.
He has been elite. But I'm going to take the Eagles just barely. It's not going to be 6.5, but I'm going to take the Eagles.
Okay.
Bills at Ravens, another tough one. Bills
that's
3.5, even going into Baltimore.
That is a tough one. I'm going to go Bills just because I said multiple times today the Ravens defense has been worrisome. So, Bills.
Defense has been worrisome, but I think Lamar is on a mission this year.
Oh, yeah.
And they figure it out even with the defense being as it is. I'm going with the Ravens in that one.
Lamar can't play corner, though. So,
no, but, hey, some guys figure it out even with that being the case. So, as we have our MVP agenda for him now, I'm on the bandwagon with you. I think Lamar shows out this game against the Bills. Cardinals at Panthers. Panthers at 1.5.
Cardinals, yeah.
Kind of got to do something. I'm going Cardinals.
Yeah.
Broncos at Raiders. Raiders at 2 points.
Probably because they're desperate.
They should have been desperate last week, and you saw how that went.
Broncos, just because that defense is legit.
I think the Raiders and
nope. Oh, they go 0-4. They go at 0-4.
Yeah, if they go 0-4, it's curtains. Go ahead and wrap it up now. Patriots at Packers. Packers at 10.5 points.
Patriots at Packers. They might not have Mac Jones, right? Kind of severe.
Yeah, Brian Hoyer.
Yeah. Packers.
Yeah. No, it's not Packers.
Crush.
Sunday night, Chiefs at Bucks. Chiefs at 2.5 points.
That should be a good game. I think the Bucks will get a couple guys back. That should be a good game. Chiefs at Bucks.
They both lost last week.
Both QBs are good in the clutch.
Yep. Tom versus Pat.
Super Bowl repeat. Both lost too. That's a good game. Damn. What was that shit with Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes? I didn't like that.
Oh yeah, hey.
Black
on. I'm sorry. That's not right at all. That's not right. Actually, Black Crown was not real. Anyway,
I will say the Bucket. You know, I usually lean defense, so I will say the Buccaneers. Their pass defense has been just as good as the run defense this year. So
I was kind of different in this one, but I'm leaning Bucks as well. I hate to pick Tom, but I think Tom gets it done somehow. I'm getting his guys back and finally able to have some rapport with his receivers. I think Tom finds a way against this Chiefs squad and get it done. And then might be another good game. Rams at Niners. Niners at 2.5.
Yeah, I think that will be a good game. Jimmy G, man. I said I picked the 49ers in this matchup this week just because the Rams, I think, still have some things to figure out offensively. And I think that defense can take advantage of some miscues. And Debo tends to have a field day against the Rams.
He does not like the Rams at all.
No.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers. I think Kittle can get a little more involved, too. It's his second week back. Allen Robinson, I don't know what the deal is there with Stafford.
Back and forth. But I'm actually going to go with Allen Robinson and the Rams and say they get it done. I'm going to go with the Rams, even in Frisco. I think they get it done there. So that should be a real good one. Excited for it all. We'll see how our picks pan out. Let us know what picks stand out to you guys. Definitely a whole lot of fun things in regards to our quick picks there. Another great episode.
Was that all of them? Here. Was that the Monday night game?
Okay. That was a Monday night game. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. That was the last one.
Okay.
Another great week of football about to get underway. I'm excited for it all. Definitely fun things there. Actually, before we go, the last thing NFL related I wanted to mention, Rihanna was announced as a Super Bowl halftime show already.
Yeah.
You excited for Rihanna to be on stage?
I'd be more excited if she was dropping an album. Maybe this is a cue that she will drop an album before. I don't know, but she's been kind of quiet music-wise, so.
She's been very quiet. And there's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of folks that are saying, "Oh, new music is coming," all that kind of stuff. But it's the same thing with Kendrick. We had the same thing last year. It was like, "Oh, he's gonna drop a new album now," and he waited till way after to drop it.
Music did come, yeah, but not before.
It did come, but it wasn't during on stage there. So
yeah.
I think this is not an announcement for new music. Anthony, she goes back into her discography and gets all the hits out for us. Do you think we get an ASAP appearance on stage?
Do they have any songs together?
They might by the time we get there.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, it's probably a good move for Rihanna to like get back in like the cultural lexicon again, because she hasn't been like, it's more so the Fenty and her and ASAP being seen
but
places.
She's one
I'm talking music wise. She hasn't put out anything in a long time. So
she's still relevant either way.
No, she's still relevant. Still relevant, but just like musically, like the hit tracks are from 4 years ago now. So it's probably good for her to like take center stage again, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I think she would put on a good show. Yeah.
So no Rocky performance appearance. You can get Jay-Z appearance. Rock Nation, Jay-Z's been in the NFL things. It's very possible we get a Jay-Z performance.
I don't know. I mean, after he signed that deal, he's probably like, I don't want to perform anymore for y'all. Like, I'm cool with the owners now.
Anything possible with him these days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What was the last Rihanna Jay-Z like collab kind of thing? Like, I don't know. Like,
what was that? Run This Town from a decade ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a bit.
It's still.
They had what was that like? Cake song. Was he on that one?
Possibly. Off of the Magna Carta album, that one.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. It's been a minute for Rihanna music, dude.
It's been a while. Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a minute. So I get you. But yeah, we'll see who else is on stage with her. To go from having 5 legends on stage, what we had last year with all them people, to that, or 8, whoever it was, and then to have Rihanna solo. That's kind of thing always been. Right, all that kind of stuff. To now go back to the solo shows and have Rihanna lead the way. Definitely should be a good one. On a slight serious note,
Justice for Taylor Swift.
I think she declined for one.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm fine with the jokes, but that could have. I mean, it's in Arizona. I think that's a Taylor Swift crowd, but that's another conversation for another day. But anyways, I was gonna say with that, is it low key fraudulent of Rihanna to be doing this now? Because she stood with Kaepernick, and a few years ago when Kaepernick was at the peak of his stance, she stood with him and said, "I'm not doing any NFL stuff," and declined it. And now,
once Cap took the bag, all bets were off. That's what it's felt like for most everybody now. Like, I'm not hearing.
That's what it is.
I'm not hearing a whole lot of people being like.
I wanted to ask a question. If that's what it is, then there's no details we have about it, and we'll leave it at that. So
yeah,
okay, let her do her thing and help put on a good show. And then lastly, I guess to that, you mentioned Taylor Swift. Anyone else you have on your docket as you'd like to see a Super Bowl performer going forward? Any other names that are on your mind?
I mean, I think the same names we've talked about. Kanye would be dope. He's had his what's it called, like controversial stuff, but as he did in that concert with him and Drake, like you saw his set list is insane. Like when he puts like his tracks together. So Kanye would be dope. Drake too would be dope, but I like after like a better album maybe would be dope.
I don't know that album at all.
He still has the hits to go back to if you like want him to play his old hits, but yeah.
Hey, listen, people lie a lot. I'm gonna leave it at that right now.
I like you, man.
You lie a lot. They lie a lot about that boy. So you wait on that one.
The superstars like that like would be dope on that stage, like because like I wouldn't be like super thrilled about like a Lil Baby performance or something. Like it'd be like cool, but
I mean he got what else is going on? That's coming up, the World Cup. He got a World Cup performance coming up, so he's already reaching that level at least, I guess, to folks. Yeah. So definitely to him. But actually, I guess somewhat to that direction, Bad Bunny was sure to put on a great show.
Bad Bunny,
I don't know if the understand what's going on. Yeah, I don't know if the NFL's ready for that just yet. But Bad Bunny for sure put on a great show as well. So he's definitely high on the list there. So that's gonna be something I'm going to look into. And then also something that just came to mind. Not to read too much into it, but like last year, it just fit perfectly. They're in LA, the Rams are playing, you have all the LA artists playing. Rihanna performing, even though it's in Arizona, you think it's gonna be like the Ravens are for sure. Ravens versus somebody, Rihanna performing. Does that flow to you and just make sense automatically now? But with that on the docket, like I don't know, just reading into extra things. Like,
wait, I'm missing. What are you saying?
People have conspiracies. I'll ask more directly. People have conspiracies. Okay. So the thought was, last year it was the LA show in the LA stadium with the LA team. Even though now it's in Arizona, you have Rihanna performing. You think we're gonna get some Black Squad, Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts.
Are you saying the next Super Bowl is in Baltimore?
No, it's in Arizona. It's in Arizona.
No, I'm saying after the next year. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying about it all being in sync. I'm saying sometimes they try to have it's a show. So you have the
Wait, so what are you asking? Like, are you asking about artists for this year?
Is there gonna be? No, I'm saying is there a team that would sync up that would make sense to have Rihanna as the halftime show for them performing?
Oh, a team that would sync up? I don't know.
Like, are we again for sure now going to get the Eagles versus somebody with Rihanna performing because it just makes sense?
Is there a team that she's like kind of like stand for before?
She does a lot more basketball stuff.
That's how
I haven't seen NFL stuff, so I couldn't tell you.
Where's
but people always have conspiracy. I was trying to get into my conspiracy theory bag, but it fell short with this one. I don't know. But,
I don't really see a connection there with Rihanna.
I jokingly immediately said Ravens versus Eagles with Rihanna at the halftime show. This made a lot of sense. I don't know if that will actually happen, but I would like to see that in full. So who knows?
I got you.
Ravens got Beyonce in the Superdome years ago, and the lights went out and stuff. Now they get Rihanna in Arizona, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there for the sake of fun, last-second conversation. But yes, certainly it's going to be fun either way. I'm excited for all the things going on. As you said, we'll revisit our them list in 3 weeks and all of that. We're back for more Hymn Zone every week, though, as things go on. Also, this is not just an NFL pod. We've been talking about NFL heavily because the season's going on. Basketball's on the way. So in a week or so, we'll come back for you guys and talk about, have our NBA previews and things. Talk about the Lakers, I guess. Talk about the Kings a little bit. And all the other LA squads and California teams and things going on in the league. So sure, there's going to be a lot of good stuff on the way for you guys. And appreciate all the love. Again, thank you for following us and supporting us. Follow us on TikTok at Section.300. Follow us on Twitter at Section in the Sports. I'm your boy G. Follow me at Just A G everywhere. I'll use
I gotta change that.
Follow Alec R. Foster on all platforms. Not like the Lakers. We're removing ourselves from the Lakers, as you can see. But
I'm still a Laker fan for sure.
Yeah, but he.
You still get the poster in the back, so
you know what it is. But follow Alec at Lakers Fan 24, and we'll be back next week for a lot more great discussions going on in sports. So appreciate all the love, and we'll see you guys later, man. Peace.
Deuces.